Everybody knows what happened at UFC 291.
Here we
If
go.
you don't know, then you must be living under a rock. What people don't know is the UFC contacts me. This is literally the weekend of UFC 291.
All right, Jesse on fire. Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to go ahead and look at what Wonderboy has said, because he's made a statement about what he's doing, what he's not doing, what he wants to do. I mean, okay, I'll be honest. So, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what he's going to say. But I do know that he's making a statement about what his next steps are, what's been going on, etc. And I could have watched the whole thing and then come and done this, but I decided that I'm going to react to it the first time that I see it. And then depending on how good the video is, I will decide what channel to put it on. If it's exceptional, I'll put it on my main channel. If it's good, I'll put it on my second channel. If it's, whatever, I'll put it on my members only, because I know you guys love my stuff so much you'll watch whatever. So that is the plan. That's what's up. Now go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Let's see where we're at, dude. Let's see how close to 119,000 we are. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, I hit 6,000 on my second channel, by the way. Thank you guys for that. We need 60 more. Good God. What a terrible day that was yesterday. Anyway, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I appreciate you guys. Let's rock and roll. Okay. So like I said, I have not watched this. By the way, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, what's next for me? All lowercase. That shows you've got game, son. You can just title that. You can just title your video that. What is next for me? All lowercase. And you know people are going to watch it. As a matter of fact, let's refresh this and see how many views he's got in the last like 10 minutes.
What's up, you guys?
Another 400.
Welcome back to the channel. I love when you guys come and hang out with me. For
This is the nicest dude on earth. This is legitimately the nicest dude on earth.
this video, just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's been going on in my life since UFC 291.
Hold up. Look at the back. Hold on. Let me hide myself real quick. Look at the posters on the wall. That is so bad. I don't have any idea where this is, but I assume that's somewhere in his house. And he's got anime posters back there. One Punch Man. That's amazing, dude.
The Utah fight and what my goals are as a fighter. Let's get into the video.
I think he's going to say that he wants to make one last run at the title. That is my prediction, as I was saying. I'm very curious if he's going to talk about the whole thing that happened, though.
Everybody knows what I do for a living, right? Running the dojo, running upstate karate, helping the fam do that, picking up kids from school, teaching ninjas how to be ninjas, and still doing the YouTube channel.
By the way, if you live in the area, wherever that is, upstate karate, and you don't bring your kids there, it's insane. I always say this, like, if you're going to do martial arts, I don't understand, like, it's like, this is such common sense. Look around your area and see if there is someone who is world class that has a school. Like, this is the one sport where you can learn from literally the best people in the entire world if you just do a little bit of research. You know, it's like, oh, there's a jiu-jitsu gym down the street from my house. It's like, all right, well, who's the professor there? You know, who's the sensei? And then you look, you're all, oh, well, if I would have gone another 15 minutes, I could have learned from an 11-time world champion. You know what I mean?
I've been back. I've been trying to get my body healed up, get it right. Training camps and weight cuts suck, especially as you get older. Everybody knows that I'm older now. Actually, my last fight, I found out that I was like the oldest fighter on the card. I'm like 13.
I'm older than him. What do you know about that?
Days older than Jan Blachowicz, which is nuts. But just trying to get my body healed up, you know? For UFC 291...
Look how good both of us look. Let me just say that, dude. Right? You know how old he is. I'm older than him. Look at this face. Does this look like a face that you could leave your 26-year-old girlfriend around and feel confident that something's not going to happen? I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not, but I am, you know. I mean, I'm joking, but like only because I'm married, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Actually started my camp in April because it was supposed to be in Vancouver, but then they ended up postponing the fight to UFC 291. So I have actually been training since April, which is a crazy long camp. You normally try to do like a 6 to 8 week training camp, but that kind of rolled over into the July fight. So
dude, and then he didn't take the fight. That's bananas. So he was like, he got Jesus, May, June, July, August, so 3-month camp, and then he didn't take the fight, man. I mean, I understand, dude. 4 extra pounds, but I don't know, dude. Again, I'm gonna just say again that like if I would have been on his team, I would have said like, okay, so we're not gonna take this, but just think, like, what matchup do we like better than this? Because Pereira's on a win streak, and that is a beautiful matchup for Stephen Thompson, stylistically.
Supposed to be in June. It got pushed to July. Just trying to heal up from that, getting the body healed up, rested up. It's not like I'm not doing anything. I'm still training, but not as crazy. And of course, the weight cut does a lot of things to my body now too. After the weight cut, after the fight, for weeks, my body holds on to everything. Doesn't want to let it go. It doesn't matter how much water I drink. Man.
Yeah, that's yes. Isn't that? It's crazy how the best way for you to cut weight, if you haven't been intentionally doing it, is to drink as much water as possible, because then your body is like, oh, we have water all the time, and it just flushes it. If you're not doing a good job drinking water, then your body holds on to all of it. So if you completely dehydrate your body, then your body spazzes out, and then just, and your face looks like this because it just retains.
And I'm trying to take all kinds of stuff, fiber, whatever, to try to get this food, and my body holds on to everything, especially fluids, and try to get everything drained out so that way I can get back to my natural weight. Which crazy, of course, everybody knows what happened at UFC 291. If you don't know, then you must be living under a rock. That fight didn't end up happening, which I'm super disappointed because I was looking forward to that fight. That would have been amazing. What people don't know is the UFC contacts me. This is literally the weekend of UFC 291, but UFC comes to me and was like, hey, how about you fight JDM in Australia, which was at the time like 5 weeks later. And I was like, no, too soon. I've been training since April, so my training camp has been wearing me down. Want to heal up from that.
Oh, that's such a good matchup. That was such a good matchup. But yes, I understand. I do. I mean, he just went over why, but
I told them no. And they were like, okay, well, how about fighting the following weekend in Vegas? I was like, man, still too soon. Again, my body's broken down. I want to be able to heal back up. But not only that, JDM's a tough dude. Like, I want to get a full-on proper training camp if I'm going to face a guy like JDM. I told the UFC, look, I'll fight the JDMs. I will fight the Ian Garys.
Whoa. This may have just become a main channel topic.
Just give me a full training camp. And then a few days later, lo and behold, Kamaru Usman calls me out.
I've done everything there is to do. The only guys that to be honest, that would even make sense right now, Wonderboy. So I think Wonderboy, I would definitely consider that.
Let's freaking go. I mean, I was willing to fight the JDMs, the Ian Garys, the Shovkats, but then you got the guy, the #1 contender.
Yes. I mean, again, stylistically, I would say in order, I like Magdalena first, best matchup, Kamaru Usman second best, and then Ian Gary. I don't like that. I mean, man, I don't know. Kamaru Usman is a monster. I mean, obviously, if he gets you on the ground, you're in serious trouble, and Wonderboy would be. Kamaru historically has been very good at getting people on the ground, but he couldn't get Leon down. I don't know. The Ian Gary one's scary, though, just because he's good at the same things. He's super young, super spry, super fast.
The former UFC champ, one of the greatest fighters.
But this also puts you right in the mix for a title.
Called me out. And this was a guy I thought I would face one day and never did. And I think he was thinking the same thing. And I was just like, let's make this fight happen. Are you kidding me? I've been fighting backwards since Tyron Woodley, apart from Gilbert Burns, to be honest with you. I've been fighting back. I've been fighting those 13s, the Jeff Neals, the Vicente Luques, the Bilal Muhammad's, and, try to get that fight with Michelle Pajeda,
And you want to know why that is, in my opinion? Is because if you actually look at how like his career, it was like, dude, he got the 2 back-to-back title shots against Woodley, and it was like they went to a draw, and then they fought again, and then he was like just the way that those went, it was kind of like, okay, well, he's not going to get a title shot again immediately. You just had 2 in a row. And then it was just kind of this weird staggering thing where it was like, if there was going to be a play where he'd be in the mix, he like lost a fight or whatever. It just never worked out for him again.
I think was 15 or 13, I don't remember. But giving these guys a shot. I want to show the UFC, and not just the UFC, but the fans that, I'm not a gatekeeper. I am not a gatekeeper. I got a small window to kind of do what I want to do with the fight game. I'm 40 years old. And when I see a chance to go for another title shot before it's over, when Kamaru Usman calls me out, I'm like, dude, no brainer.
Yeah.
No brainer. I mean,
I agree with him now. on that, 100%. I think I questioned him on that before. I completely take it back. I agree with him now.
Yes, Gilbert Burns beat me. Yes, Bilal Muhammad beat me. But I never faced a guy that beat me the way that they beat me before. So I learned a lot from those 2 fights and been working on it ever since. And this is my opportunity to show the UFC and the fans and fighters out there that I got what it takes to go for that title again. That I got what it takes to face those guys in the top 5, in the top 3, the #1 contender.
And he looked so good in his last fight, dude. That's the thing. Like, people cannot forget. He looked so good in his last fight. Not like he looked incredible in his last fight. Now, obviously, it's a great stylistic matchup, but good God, man. That was, if you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, let's see what he's got at age 40. It's like, this is the cleanest living 40-year-old on planet Earth. Now, I know we're both incredibly good looking, but I have put much more poison in my body than he has. I can pretty much guarantee you that. And every time that you say the F word, it also ages you a little bit, which means he's although I did find a video of him telling a kid to shut the front door, which is good. But yeah, dude, he looked so good in his last fight. Man, the thing, like, it's like, okay, so let me put myself in the eyes or the chair of the UFC. The only thing is, like, dude, you don't want to make a guy a world champion if they're just going to retire, like, if they don't have many fights left, because the juice is generally in a person, winning and then defending the belt. That said, and now I'm going to get a little bit cynical here because I tend to be pretty good at thinking through how those guys think. There is something to be said for, well, you give him a title shot, he's popular, and if he does win, right, you almost have the ability to hand pick your next champion because, soon after, he's going to be 42 years old, and you're going to be like, okay, we got a 42-year-old Wonderboy who's the champion, and we've got this contender, this contender, this contender, this contender, and then you could basically go, well, he'll beat him, and you could choose who your next champion is. Like I said, cynical, but that is how these guys think.
That I can fight for the title again. And it's just an opportunity to face a guy that I've been wanting to fight for a while now. Obviously, Leon Edwards. When I beat Kamaru Usman, that's my plan. That's who I want. Let me know what you got.
Dude, that's not a bad matchup for Wonderboy at all, dude. Styles make fights, man. Styles make fights. Wonderboy could beat Leon.
Guys, think about that and what my whole mindset is. I just wanted to give you my mindset of what I was thinking about. And the Ian Garys, those guys will always be there as well. But when I see a shot at the title again and one last run for it, I got to take it. Type in the comments down below what you...
I agree. Also, dude, don't take the Ian Gary fight. There is no reason to take that fight whatsoever. That is like all risk, no reward. Like that guy is a #1 contender in the body of a number 10 guy. Like that dude is, Neil Magny is older, and he's not a top 5 guy. But again, we're coming right back to the thing that I always talk about. It's like, okay, yeah, so Khamzat Chimaev, before he fought Gilbert Burns, like, oh, he hasn't fought any contenders, he's never beat anyone. You're all, dude, he literally ran through these guys. In his first 2 fights, he landed 260 strikes to like 1. Okay, these guys are UFC fighters that he's fighting. If someone is steamrolling people like that, you have to just look and go, okay, like, what do we think that he's not going to be good once he fights someone good? Like, he's a monster. And Ian Gary just had 3 consecutive 10-8 rounds against Neil Magny. All stand-up. Now, obviously, Wonderboy's stand-up is tremendously better than Ian Gary. I'm talking nonsense because I don't think that he's obviously not looking to take that fight. But that is a terrible fight. And I just want to reiterate that Ian Gary's cringe. He's doing dumb stuff. He's 25 years old, dude. He's a baby. But if you guys are sleeping on that guy's skills still, you are out of you just don't know what you're looking at. Bottom line, on the Ian Gary stuff, people who are looking at it and just like, I don't see it. I saw on Instagram the other day, right? Someone put up, they were like, it was like a graph, right? There was 2 lines, and it was like fighter popularity versus fighter's actual skill, right? So it was saying like, which fighter does this graph represent? So who's way more popular than their skills support, right? And And so like people were like Nate Diaz. I'm like, whatever. So they're like the main ones that people said were like Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor, Paddy Pimblett. It's a couple people said Sean O'Malley. I was like, oh yeah, Sean O'Malley, who just knocked out. By the way, I wasn't saying I agree with those other ones either. I'm just saying like these are the ones. And someone said Ian Gary. I was like, hey dude, why don't you take this thing and then just invert it? Okay. Everyone, like, he's not popular, right? He's accidentally falling into the heel role. And simultaneously, his talent is absolutely out of this world. Again, I cannot stress this enough. If anyone watched that fight and does not understand what Ian Gary is now, then you do not know what you're looking at. Like, just bottom line, you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what you're looking at. That guy is absolutely going to go all of the way. I would literally bet my life on it. He's that good. Anyway, so like, he might lose, dude, at some point, but his talent, you never know what's going to happen, but he is that scary. Wonderboy, for sure, can make a title shot or a title run if he does Kamaru Usman, he wins that fight, if he knocks him out or something. The UFC gives him a shot against, again, he could beat Leon Edwards, dude. I don't know. We'll see how things play out. But Wonderboy's my boy. You guys don't even know that, do you? You don't even know that. Me and Wonderboy text now. That's my dude now. That's the biggest perk of having a channel like this, dude. It's like, oh, you want to be friends? You want to be friends with someone? You just go, hey, dude, do you have Wonderboy's phone number? Yep. Blah, blah, blah. And you text and go, hey, what's up, man? This is Jesse on Fire. Love your channel. And then you're friends. We're texting each other videos of ourselves talking. It's fucking great, dude. I love Wonderboy. And I want him to go all the way. That's what I got.